Yo, JD here. This is kind of a requested video. I did one basically just because I was kind of irritated with a episode of Game of Thrones, but I got requested to do another one because the person liked how I thought about the battle tactics. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do another one. This is about the movie, The Two Towers. Now I know this movie's kind of old, but I've always thought that the tactics used in this movie were not very good. I'm gonna explain why. Um, Basically, there's a handful of things they did that they could have made the battle. I'm not gonna say they would have outright won the battle without help from the Rohirrim, but they could have made the battle a lot easier for themselves. Okay, which is where this comes in handy. There's a handful of things they could have done to make the battle a lot easier on themselves. Made it so they, um, just so they could have focused more energy on some things. Some things they could have done differently. Some timing, things of that nature. So without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and jump into it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the Battle of Helm's Deep. I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Battle of Helm's Deep, Lord of the Rings. Okay? Now, okay, basically, if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know why the fuck you're watching this. But anyway, okay, this is basically what it is. You have a large wall, okay? It's called the Deeping Wall. And you have the keep, okay? And the way it's designed is designed that you can go after the keep, but you're just gonna get shot at by a lot of these guys. So the big wall is the main part, and they basically it draws more of the enemies in, and it gives them an opportunity to actually spread the opponent out and fight them. Though I don't dislike the actual Fort of Helm's Deep, and I don't think it's actually made to be flawed. I think the way they use it is flawed, and here's what I mean. First things first. The battle is about, you can guesstimate based on what you see in the movie, based on what I see, numbers that I kind of visually just see and count myself. It looks like they have about 700 or 800. It says, I think he says 300 initially, and then apparently like 100 or 200 elves show up. Based on what I see, it looks like about 7 or 8, 5, maybe as low as 5, but maybe as low as 600, but I think it looks like about 7 or 800. But anyway, basically have a bunch of multi-versatile units on the wall with arrows and like daggers and knives or whatnot here on the wall. Then behind them they have some more archers. Okay. Then they have archers here, and then they actually have men inside the wall, not like on the wall, but inside protecting the gate, ready to protect the gate. And I think it's not bad. It's not a bad strategy. I'm not gonna say that, but there's just some things they could have done to make it more effective. And there's a glare on this. I'm sorry. There's just a glare. I'm gonna try to keep it upright. Okay. Some things they could have done to make this a lot better. Okay. If you haven't watched the movie or you haven't seen it in a while, basically here's what happens. They let them get like within archery range. They let them pound their damn sticks on the ground. And then one guy, some old guy with arthritis, he can't hold the bow anymore. Lets it slip, and then he shoots one, and they charge. Okay. First things first, if they're already in archery range, why don't you just start shooting them? I mean, I don't understand that logic. If you have, let's say you have 300, 400 archers, and you can kill maybe at least over 1,000 before they even get to your wall, that is going to help you come battle. You're going to have 1,000 dead and you 0 ratio starting the battle out. That's actually something that goes in your favor. That's 1,000 less bodies you have to worry about getting on the walls. 1,000 less people you have to worry about, like, quote, shooting at you. Okay. So my thought process is if you can start shooting them as soon as you can start shooting them, you should. I think you just unload on them. Just rain hell on them. That's my first opinion. Second opinion, they charge right at them. Okay. Actually, I'll back up for a second. Second thing they should do, though it looks like it's one uniform wall, it's two. If you are outnumbered in a battle, the best thing you can do is eliminate how many fronts you're fighting on. Okay, and what that means is it's better if you're fighting like a huge army to have one front than to have to defend 3. Okay, all your energy can be focused on 1 or even 4, but if you're surrounded, you're probably gonna be screwed because you're outnumbered. But if you're fighting a battle, it's better to have 1 battlefront. This makes 2 battlefronts. Okay? Now, what I would do, and I don't know if this is actually feasible, is I would have honestly destroyed this bridge. I would have destroyed the bridge. If you destroy the bridge, okay, they can't get here. And so the battle starts out where you can just have a bunch of archers up here picking these guys off. As the battle starts, they charge, and yeah, they're shooting at them, but then eventually guys come up this causeway. They can't shoot these guys anymore. So, and then these guys are defending themselves like hand-to-hand combat. So you stop killing guys back here, okay, and you can only kill the ones that are at the wall, okay, if that makes sense. So I would have done anything I could to eliminate this factor, this part of the actual, fort or whatever. Whether they can destroy it or not, I don't know. They don't have gunpowder. But what you could have done is what I am going to suggest for the rest of this battlefield. You could have put obstacles in the way. Put something on here. Okay, put something on here that they can't get through. It's only about 5 or 6 men across. Okay. You could easily have slowed their assault if you could easily slow their assault if you put something in their way. All you gotta do is put something in their way. Also, kind of think that if they have giant enough rocks, they could have possibly even dropped it from top and possibly broke it, or at least got it in the way. What happens if you get a large enough rock? You just put it right in the middle there. They can't get their battering ram up without getting that rock out of the way. It's going to take so much time. You need to slow their ascent. That's basically what I'm saying. And what they do initially, they have some kind of like Tostitos form. If you've ever seen Roman legionnaires, they hunker down behind shields. They put shields on top so they can't shoot them. And that's basically what they do. And they march up there until they get to the wall, and then they run the battering ram up, and they start ramming the door. And then all these men here have to concentrate on this. Okay? So that's the first thing I would have done. And by eliminating this, you eliminate your two-front war. Now you can focus on the deeping wall here. Okay? Now, watch the movie. What do? They charge straight forward. What can you do to stop that? Okay? Well, I have a pretty easy tactic. You could have put stuff in their way. You could have literally put obstacles in their way, whether it's wagons, whether it's anything. Just put in their way. Just put random things in their way. Okay? The reason why, first off, it could slow their charge. Okay? Meaning you can use your archers and your arrows and pick off more before they get to the wall. Second, they can't run through stuff. So one of two things is going to happen. They're going to stop to destroy it and get out of the way, which in that case you can just kill more of them. Or B, they're just not going to worry about it and they'll try to go around it like water around a rock. That's fine and all, but you can't squish if you have 100,000 men across 1,000 men across this. You can't squeeze 100 through here. You're gonna squeeze maybe 50 at a time or something. Okay, just like you want to narrow the battlefield, you want to narrow their path. What if they're narrowing paths and only 50 get through here at a time, or 25, or maybe even 100? It's much easier for you to pick it up. They have ladders. They have guys carrying ladders. They have guys, and they have the ballista things, okay, where they launched a giant ladder that goes up right here, okay, the giant ones, so you can get up on the deeping of the keep. They have ladders and stuff. What if, rather than having to deal with 100 ladders across here, you only have to deal with 20? Okay, and I don't think it's actually 100. I think it's a little bit less than that. But what happens if if they have 20 and you have to deal with 5? I think you can manage that a little better than have to deal with 20 at one time. Okay, that is a huge battle tactic that I think they just kind of ignored. The fact that they're charging and you did nothing to obstruct their charge. Again, if you're shooting your arrows the second they're in range, you're killing more. You can't exactly run when you're running over other bodies. So if you're killing a decent amount of guys, and the body's going to pile up. You can't just run right over them. It's going to slow their charge, making it easier for you to kill more. Okay. Then you have obstacles in their way. So not only do you have to avoid obstacles, this is avoid trying to get shot while they're avoiding obstacles or destroying the obstacles. It's going to slow their ascent. You have a good solid 5-10 minutes before they ever even get to the wall where you could pick off a bunch, maybe even use up all your arrows. Okay, that is another thing I've noticed in this movie, that whenever this battle was fought, a lot of the men that were on the wall here did not use up all their arrows. That's a huge tactical error. Those are potential kills. And if you have 100 guys on this wall and all 100 of them have 5 arrows, that's potentially 500. Just saying, it's potentially 500. And that's 500 less guys you have jumping on this wall. Just saying. So that's 2 main battle tactics. And first thing is to eliminate a 2-front war. Second, if you can destroy this, destroy it. But if you can't destroy it, don't make it so easy to run up here. Okay? Put something in their way. Put a lot of stuff in their way. Hell, stack up a bunch of fucking boxes or crates or whatever on here so they can't freaking get up to the gate and knock it down. Okay? It's a narrow causeway. You should be able to cover that, and you should be able to somehow block people from getting up. Okay? Second thing you do is you shoot them the second they're in range. You don't let them sit. You don't let them get their war chant going. Kill them. Shoot as many as you can. The more die out here, the better. That's less it's going to get up here. Okay? Third thing, have obstructions. You could have put stuff in the way of the charge. Now, could they probably knocked it out of the way? Sure. But they have to take the time to do that. And the sooner the less time they're at the wall, the better, because they have nothing that's ranged. You have all the ranged weapons. They do have a crossbow, but their crossbow is not heavily ranged. Their crossbow is it looks like it's about 50 feet. Maybe 100 feet. Your bows have yards, 100 yards plus. Okay? So you could have slowed their attack, their charge. Second, you could have eliminated possibly a handful of the ladders they're carrying. If you don't have to deal with as many ladders, it makes it a lot easier to defend this wall. Okay? Now here's the next thing I'm going to touch on real quick. The next thing I'm going to touch on is this right here. Whenever they blow up a part of the wall. Whenever they blow up a part of the wall, this is something else that they do, which I think is stupid. Whenever the wall's blown up, they charge, a bunch of the soldiers get here and they charge in, yada, yada, yada. They do not, again, these guys have a bunch of arrows and they shoot the first initial ones coming in. Okay? And then they draw their swords and charge. Stupid. First off, they have pikes. Okay? They're freaking 12 feet long and they're pikes. Okay? Second thing, why don't you just keep shooting? You can literally make a orc wall if you keep shooting the ones that keep charging in here. Slowing their descent, slowing their ability to get into this wall. Okay? Seriously, it's a dumb battle tactic to just, let's charge them. No. Shoot them, and they could literally have bodies pile up right here. You can make a secondary wall just out of dead corpses. Okay? But they don't do that. They just charge right in and hey, let's not sit back here with the safety of, our distance weapons. Let's just run in and charge and give them more of the advantage other than the fact they have numbers. So, that's pretty much my video. I don't think it's... I just don't understand the tactics. If they were out of bows, I get it, but they weren't. If you watch the movie, they had plenty of arrows. They had plenty of arrows. They had plenty of time to do all these things. And I don't know. I don't think it's thought out very well. I don't know. That's pretty much it. If you have any more that you want me to do, if anyone wants me to do any more, I can think of it. I was thinking about Minas Tirith. Minas Tirith, I didn't really think... you could kind of do the same thing with Minas Tirith. Put obstructions in the way. They basically just charge right up to the wall. But, I don't know. I could look at it more in depth. But as of now, this is the only one I was going to do. I can do another one if someone has any interest. But this is my video. This is, my name's JD. And this is my battle tactic flaws in Lord of the Rings battle, or the Battle of Helm's Deep in the Two Towers. Alright, see ya.